everyone, welcome back. Today's video is inspired by, not really inspired by, I'm doing the same tag, so whatever. Anyways, the idea for this video was by MandyLea. I actually mentioned her in my last video or the one before, I can't remember. Her and Samantha March actually collaborated and did this video. They both did their own version of this. This is the All-Star Palette Challenge. So basically, I'm gonna make my All-Star lineup. They use kind of sports references. I'm not really a sports person, but that's okay. Still my All-Star palette. Basically, I'm gonna pick my favorite palettes and pick the shades that I always go to and use from those palettes and make one palette out of it. So I'm basically gonna swatch those on my arm and then you can see what my All-Star ideal palette would be. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Now I know Samantha likes smaller palettes, and I think she ended up doing like 12 or so though. I tried to keep mine as condensed as possible. I like large palettes. I like having options all in one place. So I have 16 shadows. We're gonna run through these fairly quickly, but obviously we're gonna start with the Sultry palette and the Born to Run palette. Those are my top faves. From the Sultry palette, my two favorite shades. Honestly, I have several favorite shades, and I could have easily taken 5 from this palette, but I wanted to try to spread it up between palettes. And the thing I love most, I love a lot. The thing I love most about this is the shimmers. So my two favorites are Pearl and Cyborg. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch those. Pearl has a very huge dip in it. Cyborg, I haven't actually used a ton, but I love it, and it's something I would definitely want to have if I wanted a silver-ish tone. It's like silver with a rosy undertone. It's so beautiful. All right, so, well, they're kind of on the side of my arm, sorry. So we have Pearl and Cyborg, my first two shimmer shades. Love those so much. We're gonna run into the Born to Run. We're gonna go into the Born to Run now. Again, this is my #1 favorite palette. I just did 12 looks with this palette in a recent video. I've gotten to know this one even better than I did before. Originally, I only picked 2 shades out of this, but I ended up going with 3 because I needed a brow bone highlight. But we're gonna start with the things I love about this palette are obviously the colors, but the transitions in here are beautiful and perfect. So my 2 favorite transitions are Still Shot and Weekender. I love these both. They blend so well. They're so smooth. So we have Weekender and Still Shot. Let me try to get a little bit more of a swatch for you. There it goes. So they're my first 4 shades. Now I had to break away from this because it is my most used shadow in this palette, and it's gonna hit pan soon, but I use this every time I use this palette, so I had to include this. I'm gonna actually put this one on top. This is my brow bone highlight. It is not like an overly metallic, but it has just a little bit of sheen that catches some pretty light. So again, this one's gonna be hard to see on camera because it is so close to my skin tone, but it has a little bit of a sheen there. So beautiful. All right, so that's the Sultry and the Born to Run. Another one of my top favorite palettes. My choices from this one may surprise you, but I love it so much, I couldn't help it. But this is the So Jaded palette by Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. Honestly, there are so many shades in here that I love and adore. But the ones I ended up going for, I actually took 4 from this palette. I can't help it. There's so many, and there's so many I love. So the first one I'm gonna mention is a good deepening shade, is Stoned. It is a nice neutral / coolish brown, deep brown. And this is one that can go with so many things to deepen up a look. So there is Stoned. Doesn't this look pretty together already? Like, I love it. I really feel like my swatches are getting all kinds of crazy, but. All right, the next one from this palette is Pearl. Again, another one named Pearl, but I love my shimmery lid shades, and I feel like if I made a palette, I would have a bunch of different tones of light shimmery lid shades because that's what I love to use so much. And I really do love this Pearl. And I also use this Pearl for an inner corner. Okay, I'm gonna have to redo these swatches because this is not working. The next one is kind of a medium brown shade that I feel every palette needs, and this one is called Rose Quartz. And this is, I actually go in with this a lot as a starting transition. It is a little deep, but it's a good medium rosy toned brown, and I absolutely love this one. It's so pigmented and beautiful. There is that. It's actually very similar to Weekender. I mean, it's not the same, but it is similar. It has more of a pink to it. Okay, these swatches are horrible. I think I may go down my wrist. Hold on. I'm gonna re-swatch those. Okay, so I'm caught up on my arm here. It's hard to twist and show you, but at the end I'm gonna get a close up. So the next one is gonna be like, that doesn't fit. What the heck is going on? But this color is so beautiful. My mother hates it, but it is one of my favorites. The formula on it is so perfect, and I feel like you can put it with any of the neutrals and it looks so beautiful. And that is Peridot. When I did my 12 looks with this palette, oh, it's just so pretty. When I did my 12 looks with this palette, the Peridot was my favorite. It's just so pretty. I just can't get over it. And so I feel like I could easily pair it with these neutrals and it would look gorgeous. Like, it looks like it stands out and it's weird in this palette, but I love it. So that's all from the So Jaded. All right, next up is the Riviera. Yes, Riviera. Okay, I love several of the shades in this palette, but there is one shade in this palette that made me get this palette. I had to have it because of this one shade, and that is Mediterranean. This one is just, my finger in the wrong one, is just so beautiful. It's a shade I don't know how to describe. It is a blue, it is a purple, it's a blurple. It is the most beautiful, shimmery. Look at that gorgeousness. I just can't even with that. Again, I'm gonna get close up so you can see this better. Sorry. Okay, so that's the Riviera. Next is the Norvina palette. This is another one of my favorites. I love purple, so of course I love this one. There are definitely several shades I could take from this, but I'm gonna take two. The first one is Dreamer, because again, I need my light shimmer shades. So we're putting Dreamer in here. Now I know some of you may think it's overkill to have all these different shimmery shades, but they're all different tones and I like them. So it's my palette. The other one I'm gonna put in there is Soul. This is a very unique purple. In my opinion, it's a dusty, beautiful dusty purple. So pretty. Again, I'm just gonna insert close-ups because you can't see this. I really love in this palette too, but I'm sticking with that. All right, next up is the New Nude palette. Again, I like pinks, I like purples, so of course I'm gonna have something from this. But I am gonna get, three really. Okay, so so far I don't have a shade to set down the concealer, to set down the primer. So this is one of my favorites. This is Bare, and this is just a beautiful light shade. I'm gonna put it up here because you're probably not gonna see it anyways. This is literally my skin tone right there. So there is my setting shade. All right, next in here is Lace. I love this so much. It is a beautiful light lavendery. It's again dusty. It will go really well with the Soul. And it's more pink than purple, but it's a pinky purple. So pretty. And the last one from this palette is Tease. This would be a deepening shade that's kind of, again, purple dusty. If you can see a theme here, I like dusty purples. This one has a little bit more of a red undertone, and that one's more of a blue undertone. So I've got some different undertones. That is from the New Nude. Last shade, this is my last one. And it is from, so I am working on my Natasha Denona LOVE palette. How many looks can you get out of a palette video? And I've fallen in love with, again, another purple. This purple is so beautiful, so unique. She called it a cream powder. It's very smooth. It definitely is definitely creamy. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's a more vibrant, this one is not a dusty purple. It looks even more vibrant on than in the pan. Look at that. That is so beautiful. There's my palette. That's awesome. That's it, that's the 16. So I have a setting down shade up here, I've got a brow bone highlight. I have several different light shades I can put on my lid. I have different transition tones. I have different deepening tones. I have my bright pop of purple, my pop of green, this blurple, which I love. Like this right here, so beautiful. Let me get a close up right now. So here is my palette, my all-star lineup right here. I think it looks pretty good. So this video was actually pretty fun to do. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed seeing what they all look like together, shades that I use all the time and love. And I think it makes a fairly cohesive palette. It's got all the things that I would need, and all the fun stuff that I want. So, alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. If you also do this video, let me know in the comments below so I can go and watch yours. If you haven't already and you want to see future videos, hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys next time. Stay gorgeous. Bye. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. I feel like I'm like speeding through this. Calm down. Okay, there is, hold on. Let's take the watch off. Let's just do that. Kathleen and ColourPop. Oh, I don't want to put this in my armpit. Armpit? Elbow pit. Right there.